Monsignor Craig Harrison scheduled to make a statement regarding multiple accusations of sexual misconduct. Placing the phrase "In God We Trust" on Bakersfield police vehicles becomes a heated debate, and recovery begins this morning after deadly storms batter the Midwest. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. Today, we're awaiting a statement from Monsignor Craig Harrison. The religious leader is being investigated by the Fresno Catholic Diocese and law enforcement for several claims of sexual misconduct. And earlier this week, a Catholic monk who says he was once mentored by Harrison added his voice to the accusations. Brother Justin Gilligan shared his story with 17's Olivia Lavoie. The monk, who used to be known as Ryan Dixon when he lived here in Bakersfield, says he became a victim of Harrison's, quote, inappropriate touching and sexual advances. He says he came out publicly because he knew the first accuser to reveal their identity would likely be attacked by Harrison's attorney and supporters. He wanted to be the one to take that on for the other men who've filed police reports and have chosen to stay anonymous. Harrison's lawyer, Kyle Humphrey, responded to Brother Justin's claims. He says he remains certain Harrison is innocent and thinks the allegations are part of a plan to frame Harrison and get money from the diocese. Humphrey also says Harrison plans to issue a statement today, the first since he posted on Facebook late last month. We're continuing to follow this story for you, and we'll bring you the latest, including that statement from Monsignor Harrison when he releases it. Education news now. A Kern County Superior Court judge has shut down a lawsuit request against Bakersfield City School District. California Rural Legal Assistance, Greater Bakersfield Legal Assistance, and Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights decided to pursue a lawsuit after BCSD canceled its normal summer school program. The district opted instead for a modified program, that is 16 days of summer school funded through a state grant focused on remedial English and math at 4 schools. But some parents complained that their children will suffer. So a civil lawsuit was filed on behalf of 2 students against the district and trustees, alleging the district did not comply with the local control and accountability plan. But the judge said CRLA, GBLA, and LCCR did not show that students would be harmed. BCSD says it will seek recovery of legal fees and costs incurred. A heated city council meeting all over a motto. Bakersfield City Council members heard arguments last night on whether "In God We Trust" should appear on local police cars. There were several arguments in support, including City Councilwoman Jackie Sullivan, who spearheaded the movement to add the motto nationwide. Several local business owners pledged to pay for the decals. However, several people argued the motto would make some people feel excluded and not welcome. Council members did not make a decision. Residents in East Bakersfield were asked to shelter in place this morning as PG&E crews worked to cap a gas leak. It all started about 3:30 a.m. in the area of Niles Street and Orange Drive. Both city and county fire crews, as well as PG&E, were called out to the scene. People living on Niles between Orange and Palm were asked to shelter in place. PG&E says a preliminary investigation revealed a valve on PG&E gas equipment was damaged. It was repaired this morning and crews are no longer on scene. It's been a fight to keep pot shops open in Kern County, but tomorrow is the deadline for all medical marijuana dispensaries in the county to shut down. You may remember last month emotions ran high at a Board of Supervisors meeting where cannabis advocates voiced their concern over the decision to shut down pot shops in Kern. A ballot measure by David Abbasi's Central Valley Cannabis has qualified for the primary election on March 3rd, 2020. If passed, the county estimates the measure would legalize 30 to 60 medical marijuana shops. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. And we're getting a better look at damage left behind from that deadly tornado that swept through Missouri late last night. You can see the downed power lines and roofs blown off as the twister moved over Jefferson City. Missouri's governor has confirmed 3 people were killed. Right now, crews are working to restore power and mitigate flooding from nearby waterways. Thousands are currently in the dark, and officials say the power might not be fully restored until Saturday. Meantime, the Jefferson City Police Department says its main concern is protecting the people and property. Right now, the American Red Cross and United Way are helping with volunteer and relief efforts throughout the state. Making news around the world, up to 10,000 more U.S. troops could be sent to the Middle East amid ongoing tensions with Iran. It's unclear if President Trump will approve any or all of the force buildup. NBC's Richard Engel reports from London.
In a move that is certain to cause tensions between the United States and Iran to rise even further, defense officials tell NBC News that as early as today, CENTCOM, which is responsible for American forces in the Middle East, will ask the White House for an additional 5,000 to 10,000 U.S. troops to be deployed to the region. This is just weeks after the White House hurried up sending an aircraft carrier battle group to the Persian Gulf. The goal of all of this, U.S. officials say, is to deter Iran after the White House says that there are indications that Iran is increasing its readiness to attack U.S. interests in the Middle East. Iran, of course, sees this very differently. They accuse hardliners in the Trump administration, particularly the National Security Advisor John Bolton, of trolling for a war Iran and U.S. officials both publicly say they do not want. It is unclear if President Trump will approve any or all of the requests for additional forces. Richard Engel, NBC News, London.
Back here at home, when officers use deadly force is a hot topic. And tonight, BPD will invite the community to weigh in. Greater Bakersfield Legal Assistance, Compassion Church, and Bakersfield Police Department are holding a community policing forum. You can learn about BPD's protocol for use of deadly force, experience simulations similar to actual police training. And there's no cost to attend. It's being held tonight at 1030 4th Street from 6 to 8 p.m. We are just under 24 hours away from the biggest graduation ceremony in Cal State University Bakersfield history. But first, the university celebrated its first class of doctoral grads at the graduate hooding ceremony last night. Tomorrow, we're taking 17 News at Sunrise on the road, live from CSUB ahead of commencement. If you're a grad, we want to see your decorated grad caps. We've gotten some amazing pictures so far. Send us yours at 17news@kget.com, and we'll show them off on air and online. And if you're planning to attend graduation or driving anywhere near CSUB tomorrow morning, we want to make sure you know you have a little extra time to get where you're going, because Bakersfield Police will be assisting with traffic control at several intersections near campus. Stockton Highway will stay open in both directions, but drivers need to expect some delays. We posted all of this information as well as where you can find overflow parking on our website, kget.com. By the way, a major road closure for the weekend affecting Truxton Avenue. It will require a nighttime closure running from 9 o'clock through 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. The closure will affect both directions between the westbound West Side Parkway on-ramp and Commercial Way. Around-the-clock closure will also be in effect in the same area this weekend from 9 p.m. Friday through 5 a.m. Monday, so all weekend long. Drivers will need to detour using California Avenue and Mohawk Street or take Rosedale Highway.
Hi, I'm Scott with Aspire. I want to personally thank Kern County for trusting Aspire with being a part of your family's recovery. At Aspire Counseling Services, we take this opportunity very seriously and would be honored for your continued support. Call us today.
We're back now on your 17 Health Watch. One of the best parts of summer vacation is indulging in yummy food, but while that could spell disaster for your waistline, there are ways to prevent holiday weight gain. Researchers from the University of Georgia tracked over 100 adults during the 2017 winter holiday season. People who stepped on the scale every day and charted their weight changes either lost or maintained their weight. That's compared to those who did not weigh themselves. They actually ended up gaining weight. Scientists say people are more likely to pack on the pounds during the holiday season and vacations. Federal health officials want to make sure less food is thrown out due to confusion over food labels. The FDA sent a letter to the food industry today saying it supports the efforts underway to standardize date labeling. If the date is simply used for quality, that includes using a best if used by label, which would be the date when the flavor and quality of the item may decrease, but it is still safe to be consumed. A recent USDA study shows that roughly 133 billion pounds of food are thrown out every year, partly due to confusion over date labels. The date labels are not required by federal regulations except for infant formula. That carries a use by label and should be thrown out after the date listed. It's a wake-up call for people in their 20s and 30s. A new study shows more young people are having heart attacks under 40, sometimes without warning. Kelly Roberts reports.
This is one of my favorite pictures.
In 2008, Allison Youngblood was a 24-year-old mother taking care of 3 boys, including a 2-month-old. Then one day, her heart stopped.
I wasn't expecting them to tell me I had a heart attack, because I'm thinking like I'm 24.
The doctor did say it's not looking good.
At 25, Denzel Coffey was training for his new job and planning his birthday party. A massive heart attack knocked him out for 6 days.
The first thing the doctor asked me, what's your name? I said, my name is Denzel. She said, okay, what is today? I said, today is Saturday. She said, no, today is not Saturday. You've been in a coma. Today is Thursday.
Youngblood and Coffee don't know each other, but live just a few miles apart from one another in North Mississippi. And they are part of a growing number of people who are having heart attacks before age 40. According to new research out of Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston and presented at the American College of Cardiology, the number of heart attacks occurring in patients 40 or younger has increased 2% per year over the past decade. Researchers say drug and alcohol abuse among that age set contribute to the increase.
The smoking played a factor, not working out played a factor, not eating right played a factor.
Coffee said he's had a history of high blood pressure. His doctor, Yasser Chima, says he's also seen some high blood pressure in patients starting as early as high school.
Blood pressure has no symptoms on day-to-day basis. You may feel a little bit bad, but who doesn't? You know, everybody has a little bit of tiredness at the end of the day.
Youngblood says she did not have any risk factors before having her heart attack. She thought bloating was the source of her discomfort.
Being pregnant, it weakened my heart each pregnancy, and then with the third one, it just...
Years later, Youngblood was delivered the diagnosis of congestive heart failure. Coffee, who made it to his 26th birthday, now lives with a defibrillator almost 24/7. Both describe themselves as helpers, and today helping means sharing their stories with as many people as possible in hopes it helps another 20 or 30-something get heart healthy.
And you should speak with your doctor to find out if you're at risk for heart disease. Well, making news around the nation, forecasters say the upcoming hurricane season should be normal, but they caution that normal means a lot of activity. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, announced their prediction this morning in Washington, D.C. Experts are forecasting 15 named storms. 4 to 8 will become hurricanes, and 2 to 4 would become major hurricanes that could cause devastating damage. Hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th. The acting FEMA administrator says the agency has also learned lessons from the 2 previous hurricane seasons and is now better prepared to rapidly deploy people to impacted areas. We're back now in your 17 Business Watch, and stocks are plunging again today on fears of a trade war with China. However, when I checked these just about 10 minutes ago, the Dow was down about 428 points. You can see it's recovered a little bit, down 374 right now as we near the end of the trading day. The Nasdaq down 161 points, the S&P 500 down 48. We'll have your closing numbers from the day on Wall Street coming up tonight on 17 News at 5. Meantime, checking out oil prices, those are also falling today. West Texas Intermediate, $57.75 a barrel this afternoon. Midway Sunset started the day at $68.42 a barrel. The nation's largest grocery store chain is eliminating plastic bags. Kroger plans to eliminate single-use plastic shopping bags by 2025. The company, with more than 2,700 stores across the nation, will transition to paper bags at first and reusable bags that they will sell for $1 to $2. It's part of Kroger's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste plan. Currently, the chain says it distributes 6 billion plastic bags a year to customers. The phase-out will begin first in stores located in the Seattle area, then expand to other locations in the coming months. Kroger is just the latest company to join the campaign against plastic products. Kroger owns Foods Co. The Transportation Security Administration is preparing for the busiest travel season ever. It kicks off today. More than 260 million passengers are expected to pass through security checkpoints at airports from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day. That's about 10 million more passengers than last summer. The agency says it's working closely with airline and airport personnel to maintain efficient operations. The TSA is urging passengers to enroll in the pre-check screening program. This allows passengers to pass through security without removing shoes, laptops, liquids, belts, and light jackets. Last month, the vast majority of pre-check passengers waited less than 5 minutes.
All right, it's time to get real serious here.
We're down to some serious business. NBC, I can't talk about this, is revisiting one of its major annual events tonight, Red Nose Day, and it's a one-night event to raise money to help kids worldwide living in poverty. Mark Barger has a preview of tonight's big event.
It's Red Nose Day!
NBC celebrates 5 years of red rubber noses tonight.
Be an everyday hero.
5 years as the centerpiece of relief efforts to lift kids out of poverty.
It helps kids
everywhere, not just in America, but all over the world.
Welcome back.
Terry Crews hosts tonight's fundraiser, which enlists big names.
You're backing some incredibly effective programs.
And all-star performers to bring in donations.
I want all of you at home to be on your phones.
Guys, are you ready? Listen.
There's also a special Red Nose edition of Hollywood Game Night.
Kelly Clarkson. All about that bass!
What's wonderful about Red Nose Day is how successful they are. $150 million over the last 4 years.
Funds that answer a need Milo Ventimiglia saw close up in Nairobi, Kenya.
And at the same time, there's coverage for food stuff.
In a dump?
Yeah, everything is dumped here. Chemicals from the factory.
His visit's one of several vignettes airing tonight.
I know I'm changed by being here and seeing it, and I hope others are just by seeing the film that we put together.
It's a serious message, but driven home amidst serious fun.
Every year it's new, every year it's different, and every year we just want to make as much money as we can.
With that in mind, Red Nose creator Richard Curtis reunited the cast of his romantic comedy 4 Weddings and a Funeral for a mini sequel tonight.
I got an email and I answered right away and said, yes, I'd love to do this.
Red Nose organizers hope potential donors say the same thing. Mark Barker, NBC News.
Hi, I'm Scott with Aspire. I want to personally thank Kern County for trusting Aspire with being a part of your family's recovery. At Aspire Counseling Services, we take this opportunity very seriously and would be honored for your continued support. Call us today.